Alright guys, this is going to be a quick tutorial on how to pair up your officers with your different troop types and some key things when out in the field that could potentially save you from, uh, you losing a lot of troops, or you could lose a lot of troops doing this. Um, but this is just to give you a hand, per se. But first and foremost, let's go into officer pairings. Now, Um, basically, when I first started, I didn't really know how to level my own officers. I didn't know how to, pair them together. And so through trial and error, you learn what officers go well together. Specifically, um, if you look up here, you'll have your tank, your garrison, your defense skills. These are what the officers are most good at based on their talents. Um, but it goes without saying, tank officers should go with tank officers. So, for instance, with Grace here, I'm going to pair up with Catherine. Um, I mean, obviously, because they both have tank, their talent trees are maxed out to tank specifically, and then your skill or your secondary tree should always be like the skill or the defense. Jungler is really not worth it, especially because it doesn't really help you out in combat situations with like other players, especially in Biozone. Um, I mean, for Grace here, if you're not using Grace for like field skirmishes, you could do like garrison defense. I mean, but that's honestly, Grace is so useful out in the field. And so you could double up as a garrison officer as well. So, um, now with like Lilith here, you have anti-tank, and then skill, right? So obviously Lilith should go with somebody who's more specifically for anti-tank destroyers, right? Um, So that would be Maria here would be apt to go to or to go with like Lilith, or or if you don't have Maria, you can always choose like Monica, or if you're lucky, and your Jessica's pretty good, you can pair Lilith and Jessica are probably the best combination um, until Diana is unlocked, and then it'd be Lilith and Diana because Diana has the anti heal basically. Um, yeah. So that's the counter to like Natalia Grace defenses, because you can do anti tank and skill or anti tank and siege for Diana, and you'd be able to like kill any defense, or like any like strong healing combination. Because right when Natalia unlocks, the healing game is just on point. But I'm going off on a tangent here. Um, your talent trees should be mainly on the first tree, like their unit tree. We'll just call it that. And then secondary would be their third tree, which would be the defense tree. Um, or if you have a siege officer, do like for instance, Dorian here, you'll do general and then siege. Which mine's not set up right because mine she's not set up for rallies yet. But yeah, so max out the general tree and then do the siege tree, just for the bonus because you only use Duran for sieges, right? Um, Same thing with Ophelia here. General, max out that tree, go to siege tree, and so the siege tree, of course, you know, it's more for when you're attacking bases, when you're attacking towers. Um, you have skills and buffs in here that only activate when you're in a siege scenario. Same with like the general tree. When you start a rally, when initiating a rally, you get like a 5% increase. This doesn't happen out in the field. Same thing like here, total assault. If you have three or more different types of units, which is why you should never use only one type when choosing general officers. But I'll get more into that here in just a second. Same thing with here. Consists of three or more different unit types. You reduce damage by 5%. I mean, you don't get that sort of thing if you're only running one type. Um, for the infantry, that's not something I really do run. I mean, infantry is great against anti tanks. If you see like a Lilith officer out there in the field, or like a Maria unit or a Jessica unit, send your infantry after them, because the anti tanks are slower Infantry is faster, right? And you should have no problem dealing a massive amount of damage to them. But go with, I mean, if you don't have anyone else, go with your Riven. Level that individual up to level 60. And, and then Angelica would be your main one that you want to level up. The skill's great. You slow down march speed. You slow down their attack, or I'm sorry, you decrease their attack, and you do massive damage. But Angelica is probably the fastest one. You have Lobna here as well, another good infantry officer. But then they just came up with this one, Sakura here. I mean, honestly, it's like a mix of Chloe and yeah, it's actually yeah, it's a siege officer for Chloe for infantry basically because you have defense reduction, and then you also increase their damage being taken. Um, Honestly, very good stuff. But let's see. That's really all you should need for pairing. Never use Dorothy for like field skirmishes. There is a healing bonus. Um, I mean, you do heal like your lightly wounded troops. I mean, at the same time, it's not worth it. Dorothy is not not a PvP officer. Um, Abigail, you're gonna want to keep with your garrison, your defense. Um, has a pretty good healing effect. Is a good pair and is a good pair with like Natalia and like Normandy. Um, but yeah, keep with your defense only. Like if you're gonna go reinforce a tower, send like Grace and Abigail. If they're good level, mind you, all this is only contingent if you have a good level on them. Good being you have them at 5 star. Don't send anything that's not 5 star out there. Um, but anyway, let's see. Linda's a good pairing with Catherine. You have very good damage. Um, especially if you increase the skill damage. If you put the Linda here in the junior spot, you'll increase Catherine's skill damage by 20%. Which you see, my Catherine's not even fully spec'd out yet because that shit costs $100. I can't even justify that. Um, but and that should do it for officer pairings and officer skill trees. Now, real quick, I've been asked to talk about this, so we'll just do this here real quick. Don't pay attention to like my pairings here. I'm just sending out units just for the hell of it. Something that I've been told is an issue here. Um, and actually, I'm gonna send you back because I want to make sure y'all know this too. So there is a feature when marching on the field here. This will help you do invaders. This will help you fight in the field. Um, Personally, I don't use this to fight in the field because you lose troops a lot faster. It's hard to manage your garage when you have both rallies filled with troops, getting torched. Um, but basically, doing invaders is this is your best friend. So basically, you'll select a spot. You'll select a spot, and or you'll select an invader, and you'll hit this tool called multi-select. And you can check whether or not you can send all of them or send 2 or 3 of them. If your units are garrisoned, it won't auto-select them, but you can just hit march. Now, not all units, of course, move the fastest or move as fast as each other, so you just keep that in mind. If you're going to attack an invader, you'll kill it before you'll even get all units up there. Um, but let's see. Just for instance, we'll go attack this invader. Mind you, I didn't go initiate the attack yet. I just want to make sure all my units are out there so I get credit for all 4 of them. If you attack an invader at the same time with all 4 units, your AP will be drained by 4, but you'll save time doing it. And you'll just check that. And you can see instead of 50, I'm using 200 AP. But I'll gain 4 time, or I'll gain credit for 4 attacks. Let's see. Something also is that you might want to do Let's find another invader. Is this key button here. Hold position after attacking. This will stop your units from auto withdrawing. You don't have to initiate this every time. It's just something you want to do just for invaders, so you're all, and actually for Rhineland too, if you don't want to immediately withdraw. So you'll just select that, and as soon as you're done attacking them, you'll just sit there. You'll just chill. So that should be it for that. And last thing I really wanted to touch base on is let's go back to the troop pairings here. For instance, I'm gonna return everyone here. We'll just wait for them to return here. But there's a setting in the infantry or in the troop selection or the officer selection page where you can hotkey certain troops with certain officers. I'm not sure if y'all had known this before, but it is really beneficial for when you have to, make attacks on the fly or create units, or not create units, but create like officer pairings and just have something for every occasion, right? Because believe me, you're gonna need to do this if you aren't already. Okay. So for instance, I'm gonna go move out here, just to get to we're gonna create a troop, right? You're gonna see these 3 little buttons up here, right? Or I'm sorry, 5 little buttons. I can't count. Math is hard. Let's see. So basically, you can use the sliders to determine how many troops are going out. This is dependent on your max march capacity. But for instance, my level or my first hotbar is just my Grace Catherine March. And it's already selected to my tier 4 tanks, which is great. I don't have to think about sending them out. All I do is click that button, and it's already set there. If you want to create one, all you have to do is select the 2 officers that you want to assign to it. We'll just say I do a Abigail Linda March. I don't want any. You don't ever want to mix your marches on your like regular officers that are not used for rallies. So for Linda and Abigail, they're both tank specialists. So I'll just take away the anti-tanks, and even if the march isn't that big, they're going to still benefit from the skill trees that or from the tank skill tree, and they're just not going to have that much dead weight on top of them. So say I want to save this march, I'll click the number or the blank one, and I'll hit that little save icon, and we're just going to march them out there. And say I want to select it again, I'm just going to return them here real quick. Just going to send them out again. I'm going to click the number 3, and they're good. All right. So that's basically going to end the tutorial here. I've been requested to make the officer pairing video, and it should have come out earlier before Battle Zone, but I do apologize. I've been sick. So if you have any questions or have any feedback, please leave it in the comment below. Like and subscribe, of course. But anyway, y'all take care now.